And cue the intro.
It's time for Two Wild and Crazy Dads with your hosts, the Maestro and the Bronco. It's the show that talks about the important stuff in life. Let's start the show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Another Friday night? Yeah.
Don't forget to like, hit, and subscribe.
All that stuff. Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight?
Movies. 90 movies.
There we go.
90s comedy movies.
There we go. We're getting specific. Finally. Let's see here. I got a whole bunch of great comedy movies ready to go. So I know you had some written down. What's on your list?
Want me to just go down the list?
Well, just pick one.
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison, man. You know, I watched that movie so many times as a kid. Like, I used to pretend like I was chasing around an invisible penguin. Like, I would pretend like I was him, and I'd be like, I was younger, so I didn't realize he was like all drunk and shit. But like, I would pretend, and my mom would just laugh. And it was one of the movies. My grandma didn't care for the Billy, just the whole Adam Sandler 90s vibe. Like, she got on his nerve, or he got on her nerves.
It's too hot for some penguin to be walking around.
You should be at the zoo. When he starts the Swan, and then the Back to School, obviously everybody does the song. Today, like, you're singing it in your head when your kids are going back to school.
Oh, every school year I sing it to them. They get pissed.
Man, I used to see me and my wife used to laugh, like, at the TikToks we'd see where, like, the parents would come with a wooden spoon and a pan. It's the first day of school, time to celebrate. And, like, they'd have the speakers, the Bluetooth speakers walking around. Celebrate good times, come on. Like, you ever see those?
Yeah. I saw one where the mom's chilling in the swimming pool, and the kids are all pissed off.
Yeah. Oh man. See, my daughter started kindergarten, so she was super excited this year. But not quite like Billy Madison. She's got to go for more than 2 weeks, to get to first grade. She's not trying to catch up as an adult. Man, that bad guy, dude, Eric, he, like, they picked a perfect person for that role because he just, like, played it so well.
Yeah. And it's weird to see him in other stuff because I can only imagine him as Eric.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the sniveling, faces he makes, and then
Carl's laugh.
Yeah. Yes. And honestly, that was one of the first movies that I saw Norm Macdonald in that I was just like, this guy's funny. Like, I liked him in that. He was hilarious. The whole bus driver scene when they're the ones.
What's today?
Charlie, man.
October.
Oh, it's Nudie Magazine Day. Nudie Magazine Day.
Jack Nicholson now or in 1969? Meg Ryan. I'm not allowed to watch that movie because I'll quote it, like, and the kids get all pissed.
I haven't watched it in so long, and I need to. I always remember the scene where he's doing the studying for the academic decathlon, and the teacher's like taking off articles of clothing, and then like she puts one on, and then it cuts to the next one, and it's Chris Farley, and he goes, "That is correct," and then just like takes the shirt off, and
he
his
tosses
little
his
hair
hair.
thing, like, yes, man, I love Chris Farley. I miss him. I wonder how far he could have went if he hadn't died. You know what I mean?
I say instead of
Like,
Kevin James and Grown Ups, it would have been him.
oh, for sure. No doubt. But think of all the other great movies that would have been out had he been, still kicking. David Spade would still be going. He'd be
Yeah.
able to, well, he'd have, never mind. Yeah, I love that movie though. Just the whole concept, everything, Sasquatch.
You can stay home and shave my armpits. Never mind, I'm going to school. Fuck that.
That's right. Don't forget my snack pack.
I got your snack pack right here.
Mwah. You're so weird. No, when they're like, somebody stole all the lunches. I was like, who would steal 30 bag lunches? And it just cuts back to them laughing. She's like, the old woman, I'll tell you who stole them. That damn Sasquatch. That's who. And then the kid pees his pants and all that. Ain't cool unless you pee your pants. I mean, there's so many great like moments and quotes in there. Oh, Doyle rules.
Well, peeing your pants is cool. Consider me Miles Davis.
Miles Davis, yes. When I was in high school, I played football. I was on the offensive line, center, and O-line. So we would say who rules, and then we'd say O-line rules, like instead of a Doyle rules. Yeah. Doyle, I got a feeling someday soon you and your whole family are going to be going down. And then the scene where they're driving off the cliff.
Doyle rules.
Doyle rules. Yeah, all the way down. Man. Well, since, you're going to talk about Billy Madison, you might as well talk about Happy Gilmore. I'm not going to lie. It was, I got to give credit. It was probably contributed to my desire and love of playing golf. Like, I think it might have been what got me interested in trying to play. I mean, I might say it was my dad because he plays, and I remember going with him as a kid. But like, I remember some of the first swings I ever took were me trying to swing it like Happy Gilmore.
Just tap it in. Well. Just tap it in.
Oh, I'm talking about the driver taking the running steps and
oh yeah,
like idiot.
You think I can hit it past this yard?
Man, yeah, that was great. Like he knocks the woman out of the window.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just towards the beginning. Wanted to be a hockey player.
And then one time, didn't they knock some old man in the pool?
Oh, he was yelling at. Didn't he? No, they knocked him in, and then the lady started yelling at him.
Oh yeah, and she eats ass. Yeah.
She just falls out of the window and down.
Yeah.
And the get me out of here. needs to. And
he acts like he doesn't see her.
You gotta love that little cameo of Ben Stiller as the orderly. Like he played that little bit. Like it wasn't a big part in the movie, but he played it so well. I loved him at the nursing home. Yeah, he was okay. We're gonna make some quilts or whatever. We gotta make this order, ladies. Come on. My fingers hurt. Oh, my fingers hurt. Well, I don't care.
And his mustache.
Or he's like, no. Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled floor duty. Yeah, man, he was brutal. Of course, Chubbs. We've only just begun. Damn alligator snaps his head
Yes,
off.
it's gonna say that Abe Lincoln.
Dude, let me tell you right now, I never, never have I ever uh, felt like going, as much as I love playing golf, like I said, never have I ever felt any desire to go close to the alligators. Like, I see them all the time when I'm playing golf, especially when it's cooler out. They come out to lay in the sun, like, because the water's cooled off, whatever. Bro, I have been on the same golf course, seeing a smaller one, and then like a medium sized one, and then this big, huge monster that had to have been at least like 10, 12 feet long and weighed at least 500, 600 pounds. Like, he was a big mofo. And I might even be under whatever on the pounds. He was big, man. He was real big. And all on the same course, all like 3 different holes around the same big lake, water house, or whatever. And I was like, not once did I even feel like going close to them, let alone trying to get a golf ball out of its mouth. I'd be like,
You don't
I've
want
already
an
been.
arm like Chubbs?
Listen, the little one was still about 4 feet long, and it was my ball was probably about, I don't know, 5 yards away from it, and I didn't even like go close to get the ball with the club, whatever. I just dropped in the middle of the fairway away from it and was like, give me a stroke. I don't care. I'm dropping my ball here. I'm not hitting it as it lies
It's
over here.
okay. I'll give you that one. It's on me.
Yeah, yeah. The guys I was playing with, they didn't argue. They were just laughing, like, no, go get it. Go ahead. You don't want to at least save your balls. Like, you go get it. You can have it. Luckily, none of us hit near the big guy, but even driving, like, we were way up on the cart path. He was down by the water, and there was probably a good 50 yards between us and him, and it didn't matter. Like, none of it. We kept our foot on the gas the whole time, like, because those guys, they're fast in a quick burst of speed. Like, they don't go long distances, but in a short distance, they come firing, like, kind of like an offensive defensive lineman. Like, those big guys don't go far running, but they come out fast.
I'm not going to Florida and
But
golf. That's for sure.
I don't know, man. As long as you leave them be, they leave
Oh,
you
okay.
be. Just
All right, man.
coexist. You know, if you hit a ball anywhere near them, it's a lost ball. But they're not gonna come chasing you across the course or anything crazy like that. They're just gonna hang out and just know if your ball goes in or near the water, they're out there. So no need to go chasing it. Just take the stroke and count it as a loss. Lost ball. But hey, it's not even just ones with water alligators. There's a course that I've played several times that it's like right next to a wildlife scrub habitat. Like, we don't have forests here, national forests. We have scrub habitats, which is like palm bushes, sand, pine trees, like the forest off the beach kind of thing. Anyways, there's one that's like right next to that, and we have seen families of raccoons, alligators. Um, we even saw a bobcat run across the field. The big sand crane birds, rabbits, squirrels, just all kinds of
I'd
stuff.
shit myself. Uh-uh. I ain't
We
fucking
were
with
up
it.
on the
No.
tee box. Oh, he wasn't trying to mess with us. It wasn't a bobcat. It was a cougar. Sorry, like a little cougar thing, whatever. Bobcats are small. This was a bigger one. Because those Florida cougars. But yeah, we were sitting there up
The
at
ones at
the.
Walmart.
Oh yeah, no, not those. Uh, we were up on the tee box. And we were about to hit, and then just all of a sudden you see this like panther go running across the middle of the fairway, and then like from the woods into the woods on the other side, just ran across. They're smaller. They're not like some big ass mountain lion, tiger, or whatever. They're smaller than the average panther,
But they're
like
chill if
Pink
you're
Panther.
chill. Like they don't do nothing.
Oh, you don't mess with them. Like they don't come on you. Like they don't mess around with the golf course. They don't come around there. They typically aren't. You're not going to see them much during the day. Uh, but should you ever come across a big cat like that, I've been told that do not turn your back on it because they attack their prey from behind. So you want to be face to face with it and you want to look big. Like you don't want to come running up at it, but as you slowly back away, you want to, hold your arms up and kind of move them around and make yourself look big so it's not, but don't turn your back. And I'll tell you, I had a real life experience. I didn't actually come, like, that was the only time I've seen one. And it was super cool because it was like me and my cousin and my buddy, and we're all just standing up there. And like it just runs across, and we're all like looking at each other, like, you saw it too, right? And they're like, yeah. But it wasn't like running, it was just like a light jog, just like jogging across. Like it had just gotten its breakfast from the little mountain trees, whatever, and was full, and then ran back across, like that kind of thing. Because I told you, there's squirrels and rabbits and stuff out there. But I had a scary experience because one time I had to go down to Fort Lauderdale, and I'm up in like Tampa area, and
No.
there's really only one direct way to get there, and it's Highway 60. And Highway 60, in one part in the Tampa area, runs through very busy, Tampa. It runs up through the airport all the way around to Clearwater. But once you're going towards the East Coast, in the middle of Florida, there's really not much, especially the lower half of the state. The upper half of the state, there's a lot of trees. There's more. It's more like the forests in Georgia and stuff like that. But the whole southern half, it's like mostly that scrub habitat and those palm bushes, not the big palm trees with the coconuts and stuff. I'm talking about the palm bushes, the ones that like come up to your face, that are very easily hiding stuff, concealing animals, snakes and insects and things that will kill you. Um, they also have big, tall sawgrass everywhere. So it was late, it was night, and that road takes you to the turnpike, which takes you down to 95, whatever. So I was coming home late, middle of the night. Like, I think I left the venue at midnight. I had to run media at an event. Uh, and I was on my way home. And I wasn't paying attention to gas. And I was like, oh, I'm good. I'll get some when I get off, like on 260. And then I got off, and the first place there was already closed. And I was like, that's all right. I'll get some down the road at another place. So I'm going, and then I remember on the way down, there's a stretch where it says next 20 miles, beware of panther, because there's just like sawgrass and bushes and stuff on all the sides. So it's like, don't get off and go exploring. Don't be walking down the road in the middle of the night, whatever. Like that's your cue. That's what you need to know. And as I'm going, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to have enough gas because there's really nothing in that stretch. It's just a whole big stretch of nothing. One road. No, nothing to stop at, nowhere to whatever. And like I said, it's probably about 1 a.m. by the time I get to here. So I'm just thinking to myself, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it to a gas station. I'm not gonna make it anywhere. I'm on my phone looking at how far I am away from a gas station, and it's telling me I'm 15 miles. And I remember the last time I looked at my miles to empty thing, it said 13, and then it started flashing like, that it doesn't go all the way to 0. It starts flashing after 13 miles to empty. So all I can think is I've got to get 2 more miles than what this says I've got to get to where I need to go. I hope I can get there. And all I can think is if I run out of gas, I'm going to have to walk down this dark road for however long, potentially 2 miles, to get to a gas station, hoping that I can get in and get some gas, because there's like no cell service out there. So I'm at this point terrified that I'm going to be, panther shit in the morning. And by some miracle, I turned off the air. I had the volume on my radio off. Like, I was not doing anything to cause additional gas. And thankfully, this was the middle of the night, so there's no stop and go. There's no traffic, whatever, I've got my windows cracked, just to let air in, but not have the wind resistance, I'm thinking of everything. I'm trying to make sure that I can, get there. This is my life here, potentially. So I finally get to the first gas station and the pumps were closed. And I'm like, well, there's another one 1.5 miles down the road, but at least I'm into civilization where there might be a panther messing around somebody's trash, but not a bunch of glowing eyes that I don't see out there in the bushes. We're talking a few houses, very, very small town kind of thing, like Mayberry. And first gas station, pumps are closed, whatever. And I looked at the next gas station on the map, says it's 2 miles away. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. Like, there's no way. Car starts back up. I get there. I made it there. I pulled in and I could feel like as I'm going up to the pump, like starting to struggle a little bit. And I was like, turned it off. Pump was still active. Gas station was closed. I had to piss so bad. No bathroom, like it's inside. I'm like, there's nowhere I'm gonna go. I don't have a cup or anything, so I'm gonna go pee behind the gas station. So I go over by the dumpster, and of course, surrounding the entire gas station is just tall sawgrass that you can't see. And I can't just stand there and piss in the middle of the parking lot. So I go over by the dumpster and I am facing and I'm looking the whole time and I'm peeing. And then when I was done, I zipped and then I backed up all the way. I walked backwards all the way to my car, like with my hands out facing, because I know that's what you're supposed to do. And I might have looked silly, but people who live there would probably be like, smart guy, and keep driving.
Well, it's a good thing because you're not panther shit.
I'm not. I'm here. It's cool. Yeah, panther. Yeah. So many. I get mix them up. Anyway, so shall we go on to the other? I mean, Adam Sandler really had a lot of good ones in the 90s because, obviously there was the two we've already mentioned, but then he had Big Daddy. And
I think that's like that's my favorite one by him.
Big Daddy, really?
Yeah.
See, now I've always been personally drawn to Happy Gilmore and Waterboy. I love Waterboy. Like, Henry Winkler, Kathy Bates, like they just really added, like they Kathy Bates was great as his mom. Like one of my fantasy football teams is Foosball is the devil. Like that's my
I thought you were
team.
gonna say Kathy Bates.
What?
I thought you were gonna say Kathy Bates.
I did.
No, I mean for your fantasy football name.
Oh no 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 no. And I'm actually the only undefeated team in that league. Numero uno. Anyways, yeah, that I don't know, man. It had some great music in the soundtrack. The story was funny. You know, it was a good movie. I think it was.
Something's
I
wrong with
watched
this.
it
That
so many
Bula
times.
Obligata.
We can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Oh, we suck again. Yeah. Like, just it was just a funny movie all around. You know, and I think it was. I don't know. I think it was one of his better ones as far as comedy. Yeah, I loved it as a kid.
I wish I was
Oh,
an
I loved
extra
it when I
in
was a kid.
his movies, because like if you're an extra, like all those extra guys, like they're in all of his movies, like Alan Covert, and then
Rob
the guy, the
Schneider
quarterback.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and Rob Schneider and what's the other guy's name? I'm drawing a blank on.
Nick Swardson.
Swartzen was in a lot, but the big dude, the one that had his eyes crossed.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about because he's in like a lot of his movies. Yeah,
A bunch of them. But Daddy was great. It was, and was Mr. Deeds in the '90s, or was that breaking into the 2000s?
in the 2000s. I think 2003.
Okay, okay, but yeah, no, Big Daddy was great. I love that one. But if we're gonna branch, just in general, I mean, I think that we need.
I think he dropped off. We were talking about Adam Sandler movies, and we're discussing some of the movies he did in the 90s. He did Big Daddy. He did Billy Madison. He did The Water Boy. He did Big Daddy. Trying to think of all the other movies that he did. That's all I can really think about is those major movies. I mean, I forgot one. I don't know. Um, where like the spin off of Adam Sandler, like there was a lot of cast members from Saturday Night Live that had their own movies as well. David Spade had Tommy Boy with Chris Farley. That's one of my favorite movies. And then they did Black Sheep together too, with Chris Farley and David Spade. I Chris Farley is missed. He was funny, and I think he would take the part of what Kevin James does now. There was Mike Myers. He did Wayne's World. That's one of my favorite movies. I quote that movie all the time. Wayne's World 2. And then he did So I Married an Axe Murderer. And then Austin Powers. That's one of my favorites too. And then Eddie Murphy. He had the Nutty Professor. And then I'm trying to think. Rob Schneider had the hot chick. I think that was in the 2000s. Jim Carrey had a lot of movies in the 90s. He had Ace Ventura, Ace Ventura 2, The Cable Guy. And then we have like, at least for me, for 90s comedies, I had a few family movies on the list. Just one second. Yep, definitely doing Garth. Uh, I'm used to Wayne being here. I quote that movie, like I said, all the time. Like, swing, adi, adi, adi. Excuse me, baking powder? A sphincter says what? The Wayne's World 2. I've watched that a lot as a kid. Trying to see what else. Robin Williams, he did a lot of 90s movies. Jumanji. Miss Doubtfire, that's one of my favorite movies by him. Aladdin, that's I guess technically that's a cartoon. The Wedding Singer, I don't think we talked about The Wedding Singer. That was one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. That's a win that's based off the 80s, and it's got a good soundtrack too. Pauly Shore had a couple movies. Encino Man, I remember that. Watching that movie a lot. He did The Son-in-Law. That's a good movie. It's one of my favorite comedies in the 90s. I forgot about American Pie. That's a pretty funny movie. Stifler. Hold up, peace. We're still going strong. White Man Can't Jump. That was a pretty funny movie. Hold on. Wonder what's going on. We're still live. Hold on. Bear with me. The maestro is having some technical difficulties. We're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to see what movies that like Cool Runnings. That was a good one. The Jamaican bobsled team. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. It looks like my co-host dipped out, so I will go ahead and end this live feed, and we will be back